What's up, YouTube? Let's review a welder on YouTube. Well known. Some of you guys know him as ChuckE2009. Other guys know him as the official farming and welding archive or some crap like that. I know him as ChuckE. But we're going to do a heavy equipment mechanics review of a welder. So let's start. He's going to sit here. He's going to babble on and on and on. Who knows what he's going to babble about. But I will tell you one thing about ChuckE. I worked a lot with ChuckE. There's a lot of videos I did with him, and ChuckE is very, very resourceful when it comes to finding things that are sitting on the side of the road or on Craigslist Marketplace for like 20 bucks, going and buying it and repurposing every single aspect of it. And kudos to him for it, because when he does this stuff, he reuses it for his own purposes, and it works perfectly for his own purpose. The dude actually does pretty good work. I've seen his work. Now, a lot of you guys don't like the quality of his work and anything, but at the end of the day, all that matters is that when you're repurposing something, if it works for you or it works for your customer and you and your customer are happy about it, then that's all that matters. So let's review it. Obviously, he's going to do something with some axles. He's going to try to, let's step over that. That's pretty smart. But he's building a double bale spear out of scrap metal for his small farm. First things first, this is an orange piece of metal. I would not use an orange piece for a quick attach for a Kubota. Everybody knows to weld anything, you got to use a black piece of metal. That is the improper use of his junk right there, so I'm going to deduct points for that. Come outside, obviously it's a rusty piece of metal that he's planning on using as well. You should have all your scrap metal hermetically sealed, no oxygen, sodium filled, the whole nine. Maybe a nitrogen environment to hold all it in, because that's the only way that you're going to get a proper structural weld on anything. But he's going to scrape that off for whatever reason. Yeah, let's scrape the tag off, and the tag wasn't glued on very well anyway, so that's junk. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, plasma cutting. I have a lot to say about this plasma cutting. So he's using the plasma cutter. Obviously, he's using the wrong plasma cutter. He should have used a better plasma cutter, more amped. He's using the improper pull technique. Everybody knows you're supposed to push away from you with the plasma cutter, and he's using a guide. You shouldn't use a guide. You should freehand this stuff. When you freehand it, it comes out much better. I could have freehanded it in half the time and half the cost. Now, watch this part. This part's kind of funny, because this is exactly ChuckE. You see him picking up this little piece of electrode right there? Yeah, he's picking that up because he's going to reuse it, because there's like 2 inches left on that electrode. I've seen ChuckE, and it's frustrating when you're working with him, but he will like tear pieces of paper towel off that haven't been used and reuse them for something else later. But kudos to him, because in a society built around wasting everything and buying new everything, the dude recycles pretty much everything he possibly can. Now, he's using a grinder here. Let's talk about this grinder. Obviously, everybody knows you're supposed to use a DeWalt or Milwaukee. This Metabo brand, who's ever heard of it? It's probably a crappy brand anyway. You should definitely use a $750 grinder for this process, because a $750 cordless grinder is probably going to grind much cleaner and smoother and better than the Metabo, Mediabo, or whatever you call it. He is grinding it in the wrong direction, though. He should be grinding it towards himself, right towards his non-flame-proof jacket. But he is wearing a face protection and air protection, and he was always very, very good about that. So we'll give him a quarter of a point for that. Now, he's reusing an axle for his spear. Again, using the improper grinder. It is DeWalt, but it's not cordless, so negative points. Yeah, they did a pretty good job on that. It's got 4 flats, and it's only stabbing into to hay. So, okay, he's putting his axle flange into this plate. Now, everybody knows this is the improper way. You're not supposed to use gravity to hold it in. You're supposed to go from the bottom up and have to come up with some kind of complicated jig to hold it from the bottom up, so you can be staring down at it, not up like this. Also, I would have TIG brazed this plate to his welding table to hold it permanently. That way, when I worked on it, it didn't move around. You can tell this pair of vice grips temporarily holding it. It's not going to work. And, of course, he's going to paint it. Everybody knows you should paint the axle flange before you're done with the project, because that's a really good thing to do. And he's going to mark that out like that and drill it with the improper drill. He's using an air drill. He should have used a much more expensive $8,000 CNC drill press for this. But, yeah, he should have at least used a better drill, because this is that's a crappy air. Look at that. I mean, that's just what, a Chicago pneumatic air drill. Let's go back, right? Yeah, or Ingersoll Rand. Everybody knows Ingersoll Rand's a subpar air drill. I would have used a brand y'all have never heard of, because the brands that I hear of only come in special catalogs that are sent directly to the good quality fabricators and mechanics out there. But let's grade his project here. Overall, it's pretty crappy. Looks like he did a lot of flat welding. He should have uphill welded every single aspect of that. He's cutting some metal right here with a Trajan chop saw with a carbide tip blade. Everybody knows that's incorrect. You should use an abrasive wheel, because if you're not using abrasive, how do you know you're not cutting something? There should be a whole lot of metal dust all over this area right there, and he's just not. So yeah, I'm going to negative points for that. Also, you can see all these chemicals. Obviously, this is a flame. He's got paint over here. He's got a bunch of other random chemicals down here. That's just that's 100%, OSHA violation, I'm pretty sure. But he's got a lot of crap in his shop. You can check out this gaffy crane that he made. He made a 50-ton press. He probably made this over here. He made that table. Got some kind of Fronius or something welder here. That's a iron worker. A bandsaw rather, and then pretty much use that as drill press, and a metal lathe over here. So you're going to set his project up on his metal table. Again, improper metal table. It's not designed or rated for that. He didn't have the welds x-rayed, so negative points. But he is, walking around the shop a lot, looking busy, so that's all that matters. Now again, he's using his grinder improperly. Laying everything down flat. Oh, let's go here. All right, so he's using a metal lathe, and let's grade him on the metal lathe skills. Now, this isn't the correct metal lathe. Now, everybody knows that you should use a Monarch 10EE lathe for an axle flange like this. But, when you can't afford good stuff, you should just quit. So he's using the improper tool holder. This is not an Aloris style tool holder, which A-Bomb 79, I forget what A-Bomb 79, I think. He would definitely disapprove of this tool holder use. There's metal chips all over the lathe, and this just proves that he's a hack because he didn't clean this before he started. He's going to do a little pass here. I would have used high-speed steel, not a carbide bit, because just because of reasons. And I would have used 86 4,000th of an inch passes, 4 millionth of an inch passes, instead of doing what he did in like 3 or 4 passes, because, ultimate precision in a hay spike is definitely needed. Again, he's going to flat weld this, which this is going to just absolutely fall apart as soon as he touches anything with it, but he did the best he can. Improper grinder, improper cordless drill. That should be a different version of Milwaukee. He cut that in half for some reason. That quick attach, I don't know why he cut that in half. He should have just left that all alone. But he's going to pretend to weld this stuff. And he probably actually hired somebody else to come in and weld this. And so there's his finished product. He's got 3 axles on this metal plate. And all in all, I'll give him a 2 out of 10 because they are attached to it. But they're all improper welds. It's the improper kind of metal. It's the improper kind of axles to use. And he painted it red to go on an orange tractor, and orange and red and silver goes with orange and yellow. And man, he should have painted it. He should have actually had it powder coated, because again, reasons. But give him some points for welding, proper grounding technique. It is wet on the ground. You should be welding in it. And look. Here's his hay spike in a field that hasn't been mowed down or has not a single freaking round bell in sight. So, it's also attached to a Kubota, which will probably lift all of about 2 hay bales before it needs to go into regen. So 2 out of 10. Hope he does better next time. I'll continue to review his video as well as others. If you guys want me to review a particular video, put it down in the comment section and I'll give it a review. Hopefully ChuckE's other videos will do a little better. But in the meantime, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and get out and fix it.